Welcome back to Retirement Today. I'm your co-host here, Jonathan Berkland. With me in the studio is Michael Reese. He's a certified financial planning professional, has been for over 25 years now. And Mike, on the other side of that break there, we kind of got cut off a little bit. So we want to get that number back out there. If, Mike was talking about if you're out there, if you're worried about where you are in retirement planning, if the market is concerning you, if you have some questions maybe about how this new Secure Act 2.0 affects you, and you've saved $500,000 or more for retirement, please reach out to us, 512-886-5850. Again, 512-886-5850. We're here and happy to help.
I would also say that, Jonathan, if you're in that position, look, here's the bottom line. If you have over $500,000 saved for retirement and you're not getting tax advice, you're worried about what the market's doing. Maybe you're not 100% certain. You're like, hey, I want to retire in a couple of years, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get that paycheck. Like, how am I going to get income from my portfolio? How am I going to plan for taxes in retirement? What do I do about healthcare? If you're not getting those answers now, you owe it to yourself to talk to someone who focuses on that area of planning.
That's right. And everybody has those questions. That's normal, right? You're not unusual for thinking that way, but it's hard to find the answers to those, right? It's hard to come across those solutions and sort of an all incorporated solution. So.
Yeah, and what happens is, and you can't go to like the big box financial firms because the reality is that's not their world. Yeah. Their world is, how do we help you invest your money to grow and accumulate?
That's right.
So again, we help people who are typically over the age of 50, people who are focused on their retirement planning, people that have saved $500,000 or more, people that are interested in keeping their tax liability to a minimum. You want to be smart about that. Okay, that's who we help. You want to be smart about how you manage your money so that you get consistent returns. And, when the markets are down like they were last year, you don't want to get crushed, right? But when the markets are going well, you want to get paid.
That's right.
And at the same time, though, if you're sitting out there saying, man, I want to get 30% returns every year, we're not the people to talk to.
Maybe not the right fit, right?
Yeah, but if you're saying, no, I want to have consistency. I want to have peace of mind. I want to have comfort in my retirement. You really need to call us so we can help give you a second opinion and give you some ideas there. And just heads up, for every 10 families that call us, only 3 of them end up working with us. The other 7, we're helping them. Not everyone is a great fit for us. We're not a great fit for everyone. But about 3 families out of 10, it works out. So there you go. That's what happens. Now, I want to get back to this Unsecure Act. I know, you're laughing. Okay, technically it's called the Secure Act. I call it the Unsecure Act because I think that our government really stinks at, what they're fabulously good at acronyms.
Oh, so good, right?
Unfortunately, they're the problem is that whatever they give you in an acronym, the outcome of that is usually the opposite. So I just look at the Inflation Protection Act.
That's right.
As our great example, right? So anyway, we've got things going on here. They've changed the game with retirement planning. Now, here's a couple of things that they're also doing. And I've got an article in front of me, but I know these aren't even listed in the article. But here you go. Here's a couple of things that, in addition to changing required distributions, pushing them back and, 1 year this year, and then we're going to wait 10 years for another 2 years.
Do another 2, yeah.
Just stupidity in action. Anyway, a couple other things. Here's one that's kind of interesting that I actually kind of like. 529 plans. Sometimes, parents are saving money in 529 plans for college for their children. Or grandparents might be saving for their grandchildren. Right. These are often terrific plans to save for for college. And some of the challenges are though, that, what if the kid doesn't go to college?
Right. Yeah.
Well, now the money gets cashed out for the benefit of that child, but that child has to pay taxes. But that's okay, though, because instead of giving the money to that kid, we can move it to another kid. But what if there is no other kid? And I mean, if you don't use that money for college or higher education, you have issues.
Right.
So My favorite example, by the way, is one of my clients who they put money in for their children's college, and their college the kid got their child got they did go to college, but they got
Scholarship?
Scholarship.
There we go.
Yeah. So by the end of it, there was still like 50 grand left in that account. By the time the kid was done with college. And so they had no other children. So what my clients did is the lady, the wife, she wanted to be she always wanted to go to cooking school.
Okay.
And I said, why don't you take that 50 grand and use it, find an accredited, school that can teach you cooking, what you're interested in, and use it for that. And she found one, and that's what she used the money for.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, she made me a nice little cake and brought it in.
Oh, there you go.
In appreciation for that little loophole. But anyway, what this act is now going to do is now guess what you get to do. Up to a certain limit, and I think it's $35,000 or something like that, you can transfer unused 529 money into a Roth IRA for the benefit of the child.
Wow, that's nice.
Pretty sweet, right?
That is pretty sweet, yes.
Other things, there's going to be, you're going to be able to, like hardship, you could pull a certain amount of money out of your IRA or 401k for about any reason. I'm sure you pay tax. You get to call. You make the decision whether or not it's a hardship.
Right.
You don't have to prove it to anybody. Things like if you're paying student loans. I mean, this affects a lot of people we don't really deal with. But for your children, if they're paying student loans, there's some neat matching that your company can choose to do to offset that a little bit. So there's other little things throughout this new law. Mm-hmm. But the biggies are you can save more money for retirement, and it pushes out RMDs a little bit, right? Those are the biggies. But here's the deal. What it really brings up is it just highlights the importance of tax planning even more. You're thinking to yourself, man, I need help with my tax planning.
Yeah.
I need help making sure that my money is set up the right way. If you're sitting there saying, I'm retiring in the near future, I need help making sure I've got my ducks in a row, that everything's lined up the right way. If that's you, then I want you to call us. And when you call us, you got to have at least $500,000 saved for retirement. But when you call us, we will put together for you a free, no obligation, retire right report. And this report just says, here's what you need to do with your retirement planning right now. Mm-hmm. These are the steps you should be taking right now. And it is after hours, so when you call, you get the answering service. They'll set up a time where you can talk to Jonathan, and then he'll direct you to the advisor that you need to talk to. So, Jonathan, let's get that number out there.
That's right, Mike. The number is 512-886-5850. Again, give us a call to get that Retire Right report at 512-886-5850. It's after hours, like Mike said, so get that appointment on the calendar. We'll have a conversation and direct you in the right direction, right, to get that Retire Right report and hopefully on path to a more prosperous retirement.
Yeah, so here's the thing. You start saving some money. Mm-hmm. You get a pretty decent amount out there. You get over $500,000. In my opinion, you now have a big enough pot of money. You don't want to make a mistake.
Right.
You want to make sure you're making those smart choices. That's what this report does for you. It helps you make sure that you're making the right choices for your retirement. Again, 512-886-5850. All right, don't go anywhere. In our last segment, I might tell you a little ski school story, and I think you'll enjoy it. We'll be right back.